Happy Wednesday evening, everyone. One day closer to game day. We are getting there. Again, we're at Wisconsin. I know, Wisconsin is not Wisconsining right now as far as being, a tough place to play. And man, I hope but listen, don't take it for granted. It's another game, and our boys better be ready. And they will. Do me a favor, hit that like button right there, the little thumbs up. Hit that if you have not already. If you have not subscribed, do that now. Click the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. You will get notifications whenever we go live. It'll pop up on your device, and you can jump right in. And speaking of jumping right in, we're going to do that in just a moment. We're talking about another potential flip coming. I mean, we've been talking about this all week. We've been warning y'all about the recruiting stuff turning up. And even now, I'm like, dang, another one? I'm telling y'all about it, and I'm even just tripping like, oh, dang, here comes another one. So we're going to talk about it. We're also going to hit on some other things regarding the defense from a nice nugget from Helping Technician. But also remember, when you send those wonderful super chats, helps to go towards the Pay It Forward, which is our military and our first responders. We're always going to look out for them because they always look out for us. Nevada Buck, happy Wednesday, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Are you ready for your big trip this weekend? Have you got your galoshes all put away, your yellow raincoat and everything like that, your little rain hat and everything like that ready to go?
I
Or
hope I don't need let me check the weather again. That rain was supposed to clear out Saturday morning. It better still be clearing out. Not going to be happy. I'd rather have a dry jump around session and not a wet,
well
soggy one.
you better at least bring like a trash bag or something that you can screw up your head or something. I mean, you need to have something, man, because if it starts raining and you don't have anything, that could make for a long evening, man.
Yeah, let me see. Okay, so Madison, Wisconsin weather. I'm clicking on it now. 10-day weather forecast. Let's see what it says here. Okay, Saturday. Okay, showers, but 43% chance, but when? Okay, so it still should clear out by by the game or a little before. So we'll see. But I do have a red poncho. A matter of fact, I got a Ohio State poncho
Okay, there you go.
um that I can just have in my pocket if necessary. But man, just a week ago, it was all good just a week ago. Um that it was clear. So, but anyway, whatever. Listen, I'm gonna be Buckeye hoodied up. Matter of fact, I'm about to go upstairs after the pod and like, okay, because for those who don't know, I have an extensive Ohio State hoodie collection. Nobody can touch my Ohio State hoodie collection. It is top tier. I'm telling you. So I'm just like, okay, which one I'm going to rock at the game? Which one I'm going to rock at the airport? You know what I'm saying? Sunday, boom. So yeah, I'm getting there. I'm revving up, getting more and more excited about the game and just hitting up Madison and just chilling, man. Seeing the Buckeye fans and experiencing another Big Ten campus, Nevada.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a fun one, and definitely one of those. I think everybody should at least do it at least once, maybe only once, but at least once to go up there and experience a game like this, and especially a game at night. That's kind of fun. So you're gonna get the full experience. Last time I was there was at nighttime too. It was 2003, and it was decidedly not as fun as you're gonna have this Saturday night. But hopefully we have a different result.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it's a 3:30 game, but it's going to be dark in the second half. Hold
Yes.
on. Okay, because Wisconsin is an hour behind us.
Okay.
I'm in Ohio. So it should be nice and dark in the second half. So jump around should be dark. That's dope. I wouldn't even think about that, Nevada.
Well, yeah, you got to here. Like a funny story is like one time I'm going to a game and it's a noon game. Like the noon games go, except for it's in Iowa City, so I don't realize the game's starting at 11. So
Mm,
I show up and I'm thinking, wow, the stadium seems really fired up. I showed up like at end of the first quarter. End
wow.
of yeah. How bad is that?
That's
I went
crazy.
I went all the way out there and was late to the game because I didn't realize time zones. So yeah, so make sure you know what time the game's starting. Make sure you're there super early. So yes, Nevada dumb was out there late to a game. So
Oh man, no, but you know what? I got like 50 million apps on my phone. So my phone wouldn't even allow me to miss it. 30 minutes until kickoff. And like I got all those apps. So I think I'll be all right. But yeah, it's the time zone difference when you don't travel a ton, and I don't travel a ton. It's just not something I'm consistently thinking about. And so in Wisconsin, I'm like, oh yeah, they are central. So yeah, yeah, it should definitely be good, man. But speaking of Wisconsin, Nevada, let's kick it off, man. Tell us a little bit about this massive flip we are discussing.
Well, first of all, I want to give credit where credit's due. Caleb L, who's on our board, is great young recruiting analyst. He's really, really good at this
Yeah,
stuff, and he gins up stuff all the time. And we're like, man, Caleb, where'd you come up with this? Well, he's come up with one running back commit, 4-star running back commitment from the state of Georgia, Amari Latimer. We're predicting flip to Ohio State. So think about what we've done. We've had Landry Breed, we've had Kamari Bing, and now we're going next day, Amari Latimer, 4-star running back 2026 class. We're predicting flip to Ohio State. So, and immediately I could have anticipated these questions immediately. People are asking, what does this have to do with, DGG or can't spell for 2027? And the answer is nothing. This guy isn't a 7-figure type of NIL type of kid. Really good. They actually feel like they've got a really good value here. And if anybody's ever followed Wisconsin football, they know how good the running backs have been up at Wisconsin. So
yeah.
they know a thing or two about getting good running backs, and this is a guy that they're excited about having. But I think he's going to be a Buckeye. And again, credit to Caleb and for jumping on this and vetting it out and kind of bring it to our attention. But yeah, we've been telling you, we told you on podcast before. We're like, look, the 2026 class is not going to look this way. You're going to see a bunch of flips coming in. You're going to see stuff going on, and I know some people were skeptical hippo about that. We've already had 2 flips this week. Okay. And now we're talking about a potential third flip here with Amari Latimer. And like I said, you watch his tape, really good looking player. I mean, really good looking player. Kind of a long strider, kind of gets out there and kind of goes. And like I said, I like everything about this kid. Ohio State's really excited about getting him. Coach Locke really likes this kid a lot. And I think he'll be a nice really addition to the 2026 class for the running backs.
Definitely. And I mean, you nailed it. Say what you want to say about Wisconsin, okay? Right now they're down and they're not a great team right now, but they have two things they've been consistent at Nevada. O linemen and running backs. There's no argument with that. So, I mean, just to kind of, and he's a composite 4-star. He's a composite 4, 6'1", 220. Look at how nimble he is. He's 6'1", 220 now and looks like that. Look at that cut. And he gets north quick. So he's about the same. He's a little bit more he's a little more thicker, bigger than Bo Jackson was coming out of high school, but around the same height. So not a short kid, a bigger back. And I mean, he's nice. Look at that. Boom. I mean, just so yeah, you're right. This has nothing to do with the 2027 kids. We're just stacking up on kids we really love that make sense, that fit. And this is a different type back. He's different than Turbo Rogers. He's even different than Bo Jackson. They're similar in height, but different in running style. And so, yeah, I love it. And I was telling Nevada backstage, it's funny, like we've been trying to tell the people, hey, recruiting is turning up. It's coming. The flips are coming. More, stuff is coming. And I myself, when I heard about this, I was like, dang, like, my words were really like, how you say something and it's true, but when it keeps happening and happening so quick, you're like, dang, what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, it's going to keep happening. And, we're going to keep getting really, really good kids. And Nevada has kept saying other teams have good players too. Maryland has good players. Wisconsin has some good players. They may not be good collectively overall compared to the elite, but they got some good players and NFL players. And what we're doing, we're flipping those good players, the best, the crown jewels of these classes. We're taking them. They may be an afterthought to some of you who follow recruiting, who stargaze, but they're the crown jewels of the other classes, and they're still really good players. And on top of that, our staff has evaluated them. Look at this. Look at this kid, man. I love this kid's film, Nevada.
Well, like you said, he's a different kind of running back, and he's kind of that bigger back, and he's not kind of a scat guy. He's not.
Mm,
He's probably more like a Carlos Hyde than
yeah.
in a bit. You know what I'm saying? So, but like this is a CJ Donaldson with better vision and some moves, and so
Yes. Good.
um,
Yeah.
I like having all sorts of different kind of running backs out there. I've always liked the idea of at least having one in each class, although I recognize you can't throw top dollar every year at every running back, and it just doesn't work within the financial framework that is NIL and in Ohio State NIL. Um, but to be able to get a value like this, a kid like the 4-star kid like this out of Georgia, um, a Wisconsin running back commitment. I like it. I like it a lot. And I just get excited because I know Ohio State's excited about it. I know Ohio State's excited about it. I know Ohio State feels like, this would be a really good get for him. And so when Caleb broke this, I was like, wow, that's really big. So yeah, Ohio State fans, we told you flips were coming. We've already had two flips this week. This would be flip number three. So lots of craziness going to the 2026 class. I guess it's just kind of the nature of recruiting these days. But the Ohio State brand is so hot. That we can go and get these other schools big time recruiting. And it's not because we're throwing the bag at them. It's not because we're breaking the bank on NIL. This isn't what these are about. These are about different opportunities with a school that's perceived as being the gold standard in college football right now in Ohio State. And when Ohio State offers, it's really hard for these kids to say no. So I look for this kid to be part of the 2026 class, and we'll continue to follow. But yeah, Amari Latimer, definitely time to be excited about him.
Definitely. And I love Georgia boys, don't we? I mean, like you can't I don't think we've gone wrong on many Georgia boys. Come on up north, fellas. I mean, I can just off the top of the head. I mean, Georgia is a good high school football state. Obviously, it's one of the best. And look at this kid, man. He can catch too. He's caught a few screens here. Look at that spin. Did y'all see that spin move? A clean, like easy spin move. And the thing I love about this kid, Nevada, as I watch him, is one thing that bothers me about some backs is, and this is why I love Bo Jackson so much, is when backs are tiptoeing around the hole and not getting north. This kid, not only does he have good vision, but he gets north quick. When he sees the hole, he's now. And that's what college running back coaches, they love that. They see that because if that's a natural thing, because they drill that all the time. It's drilled. But this kid already has that, natural ability to not only find the hole and have the vision to seek out the hole, but he gets north quick. It's almost like a second nature, natural thing for him, and he's very smooth for his size and can catch the ball. So yeah, he's just another kid that will be kind of overlooked because of his rating. That's going to be down the line, like, oh man, where does Ohio State get these kids from? And so, and to your point, Nevada, yeah, he's not an NIL kid, but we have our own evaluation. We have our own recruiting board. Like there's kids that we say he's higher on our board than he is on 247 or Rivals. And so I'm going to continue to trust our evaluation because the proof has been in the pudding. So yeah, I'm very excited about all this activity, Nevada, with Ohio State and the rich getting richer and just continuing to bring in not just talent, but great guys for our culture. Because remember, Ohio State is not bending on their culture standards. They're not. Nevada, we know Ryan Day is walking the line of using the power of the Ohio State brand, the ability to evaluate, but also saying, is this kid a culture killer? No, he's not. He's great for our culture. Bring him in. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, it just just think it just speaks to our place in the college football world right now, and when you see when you're the flipper, not the flippy, and your class isn't falling apart. You're the one that out there cooking. Ryan Day needs to wear white because the guys can see me cook.
Yeah, there's Ryan Day, another flip.
Another
I,
flip. Yeah. No,
I love it, man.
I love I'm excited about look, recruiting is changed. It's changed in so many different ways, but at the end of the day, it's still about talent accumulation, and you can kind of tell who's hot, who's not, who's got the run, whose classes are coming together, whose classes are falling apart, and Ohio State's been. We talked about like last night. We talked a lot about Penn State players and how Penn State's class is under assault right now, and how Ohio State's getting ready to assault them. Um, but Florida, Billy Napier's. The rumor is he's going to be fired this weekend, regardless of what happens in the game. So you're going to see mass casualty events at these schools where they lose these commitments, and we're just again we sound like a broken record every night, but we're so blessed to be Ohio State, where we've got coaching stability, where we've got a culture of winning, a culture of development, a culture of spirituality, a culture of stability. I mean, a culture of academic achievement, and we've got
Yeah.
all these things going for us. And other places that that used to be big dogs are struggling now, and we're just not. And it just like I said, I just feel so fortunate that we're in the situation that we are, and taking the kind of players we are. And this, to me, this is just more prima facie evidence that everything we've been saying about where we see our place in the college football world is spot on, and it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, definitely. And real quick, man, to your point, I kind of want to touch on something. I was talking to a Penn State fan buddy of mine earlier, and he was asking me who I thought they should get for a head coach in my top five and all this other stuff. And I was asking him about their culture. I was saying, well, what I mean, like Penn State seems like a different, like it's a fit, it's a specific type of culture. He said that he feels like the culture needs to change to where it's too buttoned up and too concerned about, you know, he basically said, do you want to get better or not? If we have some off the field type issues, then so be it. If we just get more talent. And I thought to myself, like, that's interesting. And it's funny you just brought that up, Nevada, because I was thinking to myself, like, the fact that and you think about Georgia, right? Georgia, had a great run. But yet within that run, we've seen, tons of off the field issues. So I thought to myself, like, Ryan Day has a standard. We had, like you said, the highest APR academic. We're doing great in the classroom. Not a lot, if hardly any, off-field issues, and we're still the top program in the country. And all the stuff you just named off, the spirituality, the positivity in the community. I mean, just great leaders of men, great guys like Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs and Emeka freaking Abuka. Emeka Abuka, if he ran for president tomorrow, he would probably be elected. I mean, that's how much people love Emeka. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just thought it was interesting that he was saying that. And I get college football fans want to win. But in my mind, I'm just like, how fortunate and blessed are we to have a head coach, a leader of men who has a standard, who's attracting all these other like-minded individuals, bringing in the right people, the right families to maintain this culture and still not throwing bags at everybody and, all the other stuff, but we're still maintaining that high level excellence. And shoot, right now, I don't see it stopping. I mean, we are 6-0, and I know I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. These guys got to go out and win games and play, but I love where we're sitting at right now, Nevada.
Well, but think about what was inherent in that conversation you had with your friend today, and not calling him out in any way, but just kind of reminding, like most college football fans feel that there's a trade-off, almost like this Faustian deal with the devil that you have to make to be good at college football. Like you
Yeah.
got to be willing to take some problems and some issues and risk all these other stuff and not be better than that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Notre Dame used to say it for years. Their academic standards were too high, and that's why they weren't getting the good players, and blah 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 blah. Well, it's like with Ohio State, we have a perfect APR of 1,000, a perfect score, the highest APR possible in college football right now, and no off-field issues, and excellence on the field. So it's like, all these other teams, like they feel like, well, we got to reach, we got to do this, we got to. No, if you do it the right way, you can actually do it the right way. You don't have to be like Michigan and cheat. You know what I mean? To like blatantly cheat to go. Now for Michigan, that was the only way they were going to be successful, because
Right.
they've got no, seriously, they've got no recruiting base. They got crappy facilities. They got lousy coaches. Just unrealistic expectations that don't align with their real. I mean, their real place in the college football world is like Iowa or Wisconsin or something, like a team that can rise up occasionally and be good, but then go back for the next 3 or 4 years and suck again. You know what I'm saying? And that's really where Michigan's not Georgia, and they're not Alabama, and they're not USC, and they're not Ohio State. Like, they're Iowa. They're Michigan State. With all due respect to our Michigan State friends, we love Michigan State, but that's who they are. So it's like the only way that they're going to be successful is, well, let's either throw the bag at some complete loser in Underwood to lead us, because we're just so desperate to have anything better, or just blatantly cheat. I mean, Michigan
Right.
would be the team. I've been saying up to now that they've got, the big thing is, you see these walkie talkies with you know um uh, what do I think, the USC, who's the USC head coach? What's his name?
Leonard. I mean,
Lincoln
Lincoln Riley. Lincoln
Riley.
Riley.
I'm
I don't
like
want to say
totally
Leonard.
spacing. Yeah, Lincoln Riley. Yeah. I mean, what would stop if you've got walkie talkies? You're telling me that can't be hacked? You're
Right.
telling me you can't hack walkie talkies? Come on. Like you can tell me all about encryption and this and that. Hey man, if the NSA can pill things out of there, they can certainly hack the walkie talkies. I mean, what's to stop Michigan from doing that? And people might laugh about that, but they did it before. They literally did that exact thing before and got away with it. And would that be a big advantage if you knew what play Lincoln Riley was calling in to his coach, to his player? Yeah, that might be an advantage. That might give you a little 3% advantage, to know what the play call was before the play was called. But yeah, no, I just like it. I feel so fortunate that we're going through this, and and as we were laughing last night about how close we came to missing all this, man. How close we came to missing all this, but we
Yeah.
didn't, and here we are, and let
Yes.
the good times roll.
You read my mind, man. You went right into Michigan, and that was going to be my next part to that whole rant about programs. Thinking they gotta do certain things. It's just so funny. And I reached out to Spiro earlier today, Nevada, because as I mentioned on the show before, they're already trying to flip the narrative and move the goalpost and act like, oh, no real Michigan fan thought we had a shot this year. That's not true. And we're going to expose that. There's Justin Spiro he's the receipt, you know, guy. So no. When the season ends and the multiple losses ensue, we're going to remind you of what y'all said. The Steve DeAces, the Portnoys, whoever's the media guys, they were talking really big about being another playoff contender, and everything. And so I know the season's not over, and they're still saying, well, we only got 2 losses. We can still make the playoffs. You're not making the playoffs. Playoffs. Okay. You're done. Okay. So with that said, it's so funny over the years. You talk about Michigan, how they always talked about how they're the Harvard of the West, and which doesn't make sense. And they have standards in Michigan, man, and our academics, and we don't have to do X, Y, and Z. Basically, and this is why I always hold their feet to the fire about the cheating, Nevada, regardless. And Buckeye fans out there, do not let up. Don't let up. Remind them they're cheaters until the day you die. Okay, they will never let it down. And one thing that makes me happy, because I'm in the trenches on the socials, I see it all: Facebook, IG, Twitter. They're still being hounded about their cheating, not just from Buckeye fans, but from all walks of life. SEC fans, whatever. And depending on the situation, like the Sharon Moore memes, cheater, cheater, cheater. That's exactly what should be happening. So with that said, again, they were the ones that always try to accuse Ohio State of cheating for the 20-year run we went on against them, the domination. Tattoos for trinkets is not cheating. Okay. Again, today that's laughed at. NIL is laughed at. Okay. Yes, we got in trouble for that. It was technically against the rules back then, but it was dumb and it was obviously not a rule now. What they did will never be okay. That's the big difference. But the point is that you're right. They're pretty much Iowa, with a better fight song, I guess, and a more recognizable helmet. And this is what they need. I don't know if I've ever seen Bird Box. This is what Michigan needs. It's just like they refuse to see it. And you're like you're prying their eyes open, like, this is who you are. Look at who you were before the cheating scandal. And now you're going right back to that. Not only that, you hung your hat on leather helmet victories in the early 1900s, beating dentistry schools. And you were established, 20 years before Ohio State? You had a nice head start. But they always refer to that. Nobody cares. You weren't alive. What's your record since we've been alive, sir, ma'am? Is that Michigan is the most delusional fan base, and as more college football fans outside of our circle interacts with them, they realize it. The Alabama fans, what's your boy's name? Got his channel taken down for I forget what, Kangaroo Black, talking to us like, man, y'all right. They are terrible. Obviously, Sports Talk J, Tennessee. I mean, like, I can go on and on and on. Michigan fans are the worst. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this collapse and this meltdown. They want Sharon Moore fired. It's just, and here we are, still ascending the mountain. Still, I should say, not even ascending the mountain, but still chilling on the mountain. You know what I'm saying? And as to me, as a Buckeye fan, if you're not happy about that and just sitting back, just geeked up, I don't know what to tell you, because them dudes, they're going to try on the message boards. They're going to try to act like, they're going to run their mouth. They are in shambles right now. They're salty. They don't know what to do. They're talking about firing their coach, but they're going to try to put a face on to make it seem like, oh, you suck eyes, we're going to beat you again. They're very concerned about it.
Well, let me just ask you a question. Do you think Sharon Moore's the coach next year? Gun to your head right now. Do you think he survives? And
Yes.
let's assume
Yes.
that he loses to Ohio State. He loses to Ohio State, loses another game along the way, so he goes 8-4 or something like that. And you say yes. You say they
Yeah.
give him another year. Okay.
One more year. Yep.
I hope
I,
so, man. I hope I hope they do.
yeah.
Because I mean, because he's so mediocre, man. He's just everything, everything about him is just mediocre. And I always just think about, man, what if he was the coach at Ohio State? Would we put up with 12-7? If a head coach at Ohio State was
Oh
12 and
my
7,
goodness.
can you imagine? It'd be the end of days. I mean,
End
it
of
would
day.
be, yeah.
There's so much Nevada that we would never put up with at Ohio State that just goes on to other programs. The standard is just amazing. And it's funny because Michigan fans always try to make it seem like there's so many things that just happen, Nevada, that remind us, like, you're not us. They not like us. Like, it's just, and this is just another thing. And so you're right. But I think they're going to give him one more year. And then from there, it's on. But their schedule, I'm trying to pull their schedule up next year, is, from what I remember, is not easy. And I'm going to check it right now if it pops up. But yeah, I'm not confident in old boy lasting after next year. I should say that.
Yeah,
So
I think it really depends on how they finish this year. I mean, I tend to agree with you. I mean, but it's like, I mean, if he hangs another 5-loss season, which is very, very possible, like, how are they going to how are they going to justify that? How are they going to, like, be able to go, oh, we had back-to-back 5-loss seasons with this guy, and yeah, he's the guy that we're building around. Um, I mean, I think they will stick with him, but it's funny to think about because I love the fact that the Michigan fans thought that they were going to be relevant, that they were going to be returning to glory when depending on return to glory, what from the 1800s, like
Right.
what glory were you talking about?
Stop it.
You know, just stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah, so I got their schedule pulled up. So they got Oklahoma again at the Big Blouse. Okay. They got Indiana. Now, will Signetti still be there? He's the hot commodity right now. I don't know. They got Iowa, Sparty, Penn State, UCLA, at Minnesota, at Oregon. That's going to be tough. And obviously, they got to come to the shoe. And that right will be wronged next year at the shoe as well. And then Rutgers.
So who are
So,
their
yeah.
who are their out of conference games besides Oklahoma?
Um, yeah, I didn't even mention those because it's like, yeah, but they
Yeah,
got
yeah,
Western Michigan.
yeah, typical.
They got UTEP, the UTEP
Yeah,
Miners,
yep,
and that's all I see. I think they still these are like inconclusive schedules. They don't even have like the order.
right.
But there may be another one. But yeah, yeah,
Well, next year you got to go to at Oregon and at Ohio State. It's like,
yeah,
good luck, guys.
right.
It's
The
like,
2026 version of Ohio State, which is we up here in the throes of another natty run, and 2026 is going to be
yeah,
like I don't know, super sophomore level. Like what's one of the greatest teams? I don't know. Like
it's going to be the killing fields in 2026, man. I'm telling you, yeah, that's going to be bad.
oh yeah,
That's
because to me, I hate the phrase revenge tour because Michigan is just delusional and they used it and we obviously slaughtered them. But I feel like Ryan Day from this point on is just going to go on an onslaught of righting the wrong. I know I overuse this term, but Bruce Leroy Glow, he has it now. Go up to Ann Arbor and rekindle what you did back in 2019 by blowing them out. What was it, 56-23 or something? Because people forget Ryan Day has beat them. Okay, he beat Michigan at Michigan. He's going to right that wrong. He's going to come back to the shoe next year and right that wrong. And he's just going to keep. I just feel like he just has a vendetta to right all the wrongs of their cheating scandal and the collapse of a loss that should have never happened last year. But anyway, we just kind of all over the place. But it's a good all over the place. This is a good all over the place. But yeah, man, I just the point I think we're trying to make is, and Nevada's been really telling y'all, we are blessed and fortunate to be Buckeye fans. And so, does that mean we can't have questions and want standards and like, hey, I hope we improve on this? No. But man, oh man, there's a lot of programs, y'all, that would cut off their pinky toe to be a Buckeye fan. Just saying.
yeah, and along those lines of what can we do to improve, we had a great nugget today by the helping technician on defensive
Yeah.
improvements,
Great segue.
specifically.
You're a professional.
I'm a professional. This is what I do. I do this for a living now. That he talked about how yeah, and we'll just give you a little taste of it because again, if you like this podcast and you like the information you get in the podcast, you really should become a member of our Buckeye Scoop. We do this all day long. This is B&B Moses going back and forth all day long. Like I said, you can talk about everything from wines to restaurants and to travel. Who's the best cruise thing to 401k strategies to obviously great inside information on football. So I mean, you got all sorts of great stuff on there. But our great insider helping technician was chiming in with what Ohio State's doing to combat some of the tempo that we saw Texas use against us with a little bit of a success, and obviously, Illinois had limited success in garbage time last year or last week rather in using tempo and Bielema came out and made some comments about it, which really did not sit well with the Ohio State people. But what Ohio State's doing, one of the things they're doing several things to combat it, but one of the things they're doing is changing their calls. They've gone to some like universal calls so they can make the calls quicker and get the guys lined up better, without having to worry so much about helmet communications coming in and the guy communicating. They're going to one word calls for their defenses. So that's been something that they've been implementing now over the last couple of days. 7, 8, 9, 10 kind of one-word calls to be able to go in to signify to guys what to do when a defense is coming in. So a little less information, but little information shared a little bit quicker, disseminated a little bit quicker, and get guys lined up. And then on top of that, they're kind of giving Arvell a little bit more freedom. They'll probably, and I don't want to give away the goose here, but they probably going to be dealing, if teams go tempo with them, they're probably going to be a little bit more aggressive in dealing with teams that are going tempo with them, realizing that while they're going fast, they're going to have to simplify their playbook as well. So that's kind of the spy versus spy stuff that's going on right now. It's not like Matt Patricia hasn't seen teams go fast or haven't seen teams go warp speed against them before. Knows how to deal with it. This is the next iteration of the Ohio State defense, and had a great nugget on it today, and so I figured to share it.
Yep, it was great, man. And it's funny, helping tech read my mind, man, as I was pondering what we were discussing about the defense and, you know, continuing to stay on top of things and self-scouting and tendencies. I thought to myself, and he mentioned it in the nugget, Matt Patricia is so smart. He knows he was a offensive coordinator in the NFL. Nevada, before I continue, didn't you say he's the only one? Is he the only coach in NFL history to do both? Am I tripping?
Well, he's the only person in the history to ever. He's an NFL offensive coordinator, an NFL defensive coordinator, and NFL head coach. I mean, maybe if you go back to like Papa Bear Hallis or something like that, when they only had one guy who did the whole thing or something like that. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, yeah, in the past 70 years, yeah, he's the only person to be he's been a defensive coordinator and an offensive coordinator and a head coach all in the NFL, which is just think about that. That's just wild to think about, because those are very different skill sets that are required of it. I mean, that's how much of a renaissance man that Matty Patricia is. That he's sophisticated enough that he could win the being the coordinator of a defense or being the coordinator of an offense at the NFL level. Absolutely, absolutely great. That's why I knew when he got hired, man, you and I were not hedging about him being successful. And there were a lot of people, the OSU media beat, that were really on this guy, saying he was the terrible hire and he wasn't going to work, and the players hated him and the people hated him and he doesn't get along. And I'm like, you guys are fat and you guys don't know anything about football, because it's just wrong. Because this guy's a great coach. And so I mean, I'm going to
Oh,
take a victory lap on this one, because I mean, man, there's so many people who are dogging him. I'm like, I just don't get it. This guy, he's got 3 Super Bowl rings. His experience is just crazy. Like, he's going to be great. And so him being great, oh, I didn't think he'd be this great, but I knew that he would be great. And yeah, smart, great, and lots of relevant experience.
yeah. I mean, dumb. Just dumb. And I just shake my head every time that it comes up, man. But listen, the point we're making about Patricia is that with all the accolades Nevada just mentioned, it's great to have a coordinator, because coordinators know offense, because they have to go against the offense, but he knows offense. Knowing what offenses do to try to attack them is one thing, but actually running an offense and being a coordinator of an offense, to me, is even deeper. So I was thinking, like, Patricia he's able to really get with Ryan Day and just meeting of the minds and say, okay, coach, this set that you're running, here's the weaknesses of this. And who are you going to trust more than Matt Patricia to call out weaknesses in your offense? And so helping Tech coming with that nugget was just like confirmation. And basically he said, I just read a little bit of it. He said, that's the beauty of Matt P. He knows both sides of the ball so well that he knows the biggest advantage to having tempo is keeping the defense in base for fear of a player missing a call. And he goes on. And so, yes, somebody in the chat said that he didn't like that comment from Bert. Yeah, I don't think Day was asked about it. Listen, I want to remind y'all, Ryan Day is a professional. He knows how to address the media. Every coach has coach speak. But I think Ryan Day, he's not Tressel. He gives you something. He'll give you some things, but he's also very buttoned up in front of the media. Behind the scenes, he got a whole nother thing to say. He probably tore into Burt Bielema with his staff. They probably like, man, this joker, you hear this clown talk? Like, I'm paraphrasing in my own B. Moses style, but trust and believe, they wasn't feeling that. And so with Matt Patricia not feeling that either, and just also just doing your due diligence. The whole tempo thing, like Nevada said, this is not something new. It could be challenging, but it's not something new. And we have the dogs, we have the Jimmies and the Joes. You go ahead and try to do that for 4 quarters and see what happens. Goofy. So, but anyway, one quick thing before we go to super chats. Shout out to the chat, the best chat in the game. I'm laughing at y'all. I mentioned about cutting your pinky toe off earlier to be a Buckeye fan, and Matt Randall said, "Pinky, Moses, talk about your toes." Now we have a very great poster named Pinky in the House. So there's the context for those who don't know. And so they're just going hard in the chat, clowning. Y'all are just crazy, man. I love y'all. Let's go into the super chats unless you got something to say about that, Nevada.
No, look, I think that, we're gonna. This is second half season now. I mean, we're through the first 6 games. I think now, Ryan. There's been a lot of speculation about Ryan going slow these first 6 games. Limit the number of plays, limit the number of snaps, so that we can be fresh through the 16, 17 game schedule. A lot of speculation about that this year. Because remember, as long as last year's schedule was, this year has the potential to be 1 game longer, because we're probably going to be playing in the Big Ten championship game. You know what I'm saying? So, if we have our schedule and then throw a little game, say against Indiana in the Big Ten championship game, and then the 4 playoff games, a lot of football. A lot of football. You want to be fresh. You want to be healthy. And so Ryan is definitely playing the long game from that standpoint. And I think you're going to see him start amping up the second half of the season, but it's going to be slow. It's going to be a slow build towards the end, because he wants us firing to come playoff time. So don't look for everything to come out of the cupboard this week, but it's going to start opening up slowly, a little bit at a time, peaking around Michigan, peaking around Big Ten championship game, hitting it all hard come the playoff time. That's the plan. That's what we'll be hoping to see. But you'll get a chance to watch it this week against Wisconsin. And B, you're going to be there you're going to be wet and cold and there in person watching it.
I don't like your little prophecy, that you're projecting on me. The devil is a liar. We're gonna believe God. We're gonna believe God for son. Depart the, listen, my last name is Moses, man. Let me take my ride and just I'm hoping for a just at most drizzle. But man, yeah, that's
what's the temperature? What's the temperature supposed to be like if it's the rain? What do they say on the temperature at least? Because you may be wet. Will you be wet and cold, or just cold? Or
okay,
not
so
cold?
here it is. It's 69 degrees.
Oh,
and
okay.
it says not bad, right? And it says
nice.
showers early, becoming less numerous later in the day.
Oh, that's going to be nice. 69 is nice. That's the kind of tropical, like a tropical storm. You'll be like, it's like you're in Fiji or something like that.
Yeah, I can chill in that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I hate cold rain. Like, I'd rather be in the snow than cold rain. That's trash. So that doesn't seem too bad, even if it does, but it's supposed to tail off. So either way, me and Dev gonna be in the building. We're gonna have a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? We might just be doing pop-up lives, just walking down the street. I don't know. We're gonna try to really interact with y'all and clown. But yeah, that weather, if it was 49 in rain,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Well, that's what I was wondering. It was 69. You should have like the big tropical hat and like the coconut drink there with the big straw out of it or something like that, going down there, because like you guys are like on holiday now or something. But 49, it'd be hot cocoa time. Hot cocoa and big old parka. No, not that for B. Moses, man.
And honestly, we're fortunate because it's the 15th of October. In the Midwest, that's as dicey as it comes.
That could be cold. That could definitely be cold.
So, but anyway, good times, man. As we're getting closer, my engine is revving up, man. I'm getting excited. All right, Caden, the Diesel Freak, thanks for the 2. Roll Buckeyes roll and kicking ASS all day. What you got on that, Nevada?
No, I mean, look, it's hard to argue with that, man. Defending national champion, 6-0, number one in the country, best program, deepest roster, flipping fools from other teams. And yeah, I mean, it's good to be a Buckeye and it's good to be a Buckeye fan. And we are very fortunate and don't ever take it for granted because times like this can't last forever, man, because this is about as good as it gets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And once again, hop in. Time to level up, fellas. That's Ryan Day with every flip. He's pulling up to their crib. But in this case, Penn State, when he got, the Penn State flips that's coming. But anyway, all right, let's get to the next one here. We got Pooh Beard 12. Thanks for being a Scoop Ultra member. Thanks for the $9.99. PSU, James Franklin falling apart. Last year, we could have spiraled after the Team Up North loss, but the players, they showed A-plus resilience and leadership to keep it together and elevate their game. We are lucky to have Day. Well said. Nothing should be ever taken for granted, y'all. And that's the flip side to the coin as we celebrate and bask in the fact that we've been the most consistent program the last 25 years, that it should not be taken for granted. Like, don't take that for granted because there's programs who are spiraling out. I mean, Penn State came into this season, picked to win the title or play for the title. And now look at them. Their coach is fired and their recruiting class is just gonzo. I mean, I don't know what else to say, Nevada. Like, that's just a great post, or great super chat, Pooh Beard. But Nevada, what you got?
Well, I mean, it's like the Robert Frost poem about, two paths diverge in a wood, and I chose the one less traveled, and it's made all the difference. I mean, you think about Ohio State and being at these forks in the road, the fork in the road after the Trestle thing. There were a lot of people back then, a lot of people that wanted
Yeah.
to keep Luke Fickell as the head coach,
No.
especially after we beat Wisconsin that year. And yeah, he was like, let's keep Luke Fickell, let's just give him the contract, let's sign him up. And they didn't. They went out and got Urban Meyer, and Luke is gone on to some moderate success at Cincinnati, and then really struggling up at Wisconsin right now. you know, that could have been a mistake. Obviously firing Ryan Day. If we fire Ryan Day last year after the Michigan game, I don't know who we get to be the head coach. I don't know what shape our program is in right now. I don't know what shape our recruiting is, our NIL, our national staff. I don't know any of those things. All I know, I can say unequivocally, is it wouldn't be as good as it is right now. So it was just a
Right.
question of, some degree lesser than what it was, and it could be just a disaster. It could have been like we could be in the. So you think about how close we came to stepping into the abyss,
Yeah.
and it's kind of scary. I mean, it's kind of scary because I was at that game. I walked out of that stadium and I
So
was
was I.
walking with the people hearing, blank Ryan Day, blank right. I mean, like that was, I mean, that was bad. And so the fact that we went from there to now Ryan Day is going to pull the ultimate double agent move on us, though. He's going to win another national championship, and then Heather Dinich says that he's going to leave us to go to Penn State after that. So that'd be some real that'd be him really like playing the long game to kind of get back at the Ohio State fans there. I'm going to drop another natty on you guys, then leave and go become a Nittany Lion. That
Yeah, I'm gonna move my family from glorious Columbus, Ohio, to crappy. I'm sorry, that's wrong. That's mean. Crappy Valley. Anyway, but yeah, you're right. You're right, Nevada. Now, just for the record, before we move on, I never thought Bjork was going to fire him after the Michigan game. I didn't think it was ever going to happen. Just my opinion. But the only question I had in my mind, especially as a podcaster, because people, they hit you up. I was getting pressured, peer pressure to declare that Ryan Day needs, he needs to be fired now, right, B? And I'm like, I'm salty right now. I'm angry because I was at that game too, Nevada. But I was not willing to do that. I've already told y'all that. I'm not going to go into it right now. But the point is, to what Nevada's saying is, the notion was at least something real. The fan base, a good portion of the fan base was obviously upset. A lot of the fan base backed down as the days went on, as we led into Tennessee, which is natural. The point is, though, there was a
Well, no,
lot
but
of
no.
heat.
Hold on. Let
Oh,
me.
go ahead.
I gotta ask you. Just gotta ask you a question, and I just
Yep.
want you to just blurt out the first number that comes to your mind. So I don't want you to think about it too much. What percentage of the fan base, in your estimation, wanted him fired after the Michigan game?
I'll say 35%.
Yeah, I mean that could be. I was going to say 40. I was going to say 40, but yeah,
Close.
that's probably right. Big. That's a big number, man. That's a
Yeah.
big number. That's a big number.
Yeah. Yep. So it's a big number, but so is 60, 65, and 60, on the flip side. So it's like, it's one of those things where that number rapidly decreased as we got towards Tennessee. But still, regardless, we're not downplaying the fact that we were in some dicey waters after that Michigan game, to where it was just like, yo, that was a mind-blowing loss. And so the point we're making is the fact that it was even that big of a number and such a large fan base really had us in some waters that we had not tread through before. And then you see the flip side of how we come out of it. It's just like, how can you not be grateful? Because some of these teams like Florida State, I mean, I can go through the flash in the bucket powers from the 90s, and they just haven't recovered. I mean, Texas, since Vince Young, like, they haven't fully recovered. They're not back, right? So it's just, I don't know. Be grateful is the point that we're making. All right. Let's see. We got D Sonny. Thanks for the $4.99. Colin Cowherd told Joe Clapp that he had to mute his commentary Saturday. I did not know this. D Sonny, that's funny. Usually I hear stuff about, like, that's crazy. Have you heard about this comment from Cowherd, Nevada?
Did he really say that?
I want to, right? Exactly.
I mean, if
I need
Colin really said that, that's one of the great comments of all time.
right.
That's one of the great comments of all time. If he did, I don't know. I don't know if he did or not. But if somebody can confirm that for me,
Please.
I'll call Colin tonight. I will call him tonight, and I'll find out.
Oh man, so you're on the same page as I am, because I'm just like, for real, like that's
Yeah.
like
Well, you
how
just have
did
to you just have to be careful in the internet. I mean, you'll see things on Facebook where Jeremiah Smith paid off the entire
right?
student loan debt,
I'll say yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
"Oh no, that probably didn't happen." But it said it on Facebook, so it's just like,
So
"No,
it must be
no,
true,
it must be
but
true." No, no, no.
yeah, we need to find that out. Yeah, hit your boy Cowherd up, and I'm gonna check too, because like I said, people hit me up all the time, Nevada, when stuff breaks, or usually I'm on it. I'm pretty good with breaking news first and all that other stuff, but people hit me up and say, "Did you hear about this?" I ain't heard nothing about that. I'm not saying it's not true, D Sonny, but that's crazy. If it is, I need to lean into that. I'm gonna have to make a post, because if Cowherd, your boy Cowherd, is even saying your
Well, see,
commentary was
and
trash.
I'm not sure because D Sonny's a funny guy, so I'm not sure if he's goofing on us and saying that, or is
Oh,
it
maybe he
some.
is.
He
Maybe he's
might be.
joking.
But D Sonny is a very funny guy, so I'm not sure, is he goofing us for that comment, or did Colin really say it, or is it like a double entendre goof that he's making fun of Nevada and B Moses? I'm not quite sure.
Hey, either way, it's
Either
it's
way,
funny. But if it's true,
if it's true,
oh
it's
boy,
classic. Yeah, that would be
ooh,
classic.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Iowa Buck, what is up? Thanks for the 4.99. Can't wait to eat cheese curds and yell OH in Madison. Bucks big. OH Nevada.
Oh,
I'm definitely gonna have some curds. Uh, but I don't know. I'm not excited about the curds. I'm just gonna do it because when in Rome.
whoa!
But
Wait a second. It's deep fried cheese. How can you not like deep fried cheese?
I like deep fried cheese, but we have a Culver's here in Columbus.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I guess. Yeah,
you
but
know what I'm
that's
saying?
and those are pretty good. Those are decent curds. Those are decent curds. But you got to
Yes.
you get the original, you get the OG curds up there. I mean, come on, it's fried cheese. It's
Well,
got all the
listen,
good. It's cheese and it's fried. Come on.
Madison people, you Wisconsin, you Badgers, isn't that how you talk Badgers? Like, direct me to the OG, triple OG cheese curd cookers.
Yeah,
Okay. If Culver's is not the standard, get me the best. Okay, then I'll be more excited about the cheese curds. Okay,
yeah.
deal.
I'm gonna find it, but you know what I'm gonna use? I'm gonna use the Google machine. The Google machine, like best cheese curds in Madison, Wisconsin. There you go, and I'll be like, there you
Hey,
go,
and
B.
shoot me a text.
So I'm gonna shoot you a
Because
text and be like, 3 places. You're like, man, Nevada, you know everything. How do you know this? I'm like, B, I'm versatile. I know everything.
Hey, listen, because I'm a foodie, aka
Yeah,
fatty, and so I'm looking to eat. I want the best of your city. Okay, so
yeah.
I'm seeking. I'm like Andrew Zimmern or Man versus Food. Like that's who I am at heart. So
What's
let's
that?
make
Man
it
versus
happen.
Food, like the original Man versus Food
The
guy, the Adam
original, he's
Richman.
way better
Yeah,
than the new one.
way
Adam
better. The
Richmond
new
is
guy,
way better.
Adam Richman's way better. The old guy's the new guy's a clown. Like
He
the
sucks.
Adam Richman was. I can't watch the show now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. He was
yeah.
funny. He was
He
just
was
better.
he was way better. Way better.
We agree. We agree. All right. All right. So what we got next? Mitchell Smith. Thanks for the 5. The novelty of Scum beating us but not making the playoffs is going to wear off. Based on how they are talking, it has. It absolutely has. It's their only shtick. It's their only card to play. That's all they had. I hate that we gave that to them, although it doesn't matter because we won a natty and we just hit them with the trump card every single time. It's so predictable, 13-10, and then we come back with the national with Ryan Day like this with a national championship, confetti falling. Like who cares? But the fact that they even got it is annoying, but it's clearly wearing off. And every passing day leading up to the victory we are going to have in Ann Arbor this year, that's just gonna just completely just nuke it, Nevada.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I actually loved hearing JJ Smith about how fired up he is about playing it because JJ just doesn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? He is
Right.
a guy, he's the anti-Underwood. You know what I'm saying? He's a man of few words, doesn't say anything, all about ball. And for him to come out and be like, I am not losing those chump again, it's like, um, yeah, they're gonna get his full fury. And when the guys follow, when you see a guy that's quiet like JJ and seeing how fired up he's gonna be, like he's gonna drag the rest of the guys up there with him. So that's I can't wait for that game, but we'll take them one at a time till we get there. But I can't wait for that game for sure. Are you going? You gonna go to that game? You gonna go up to I, I I'm
No,
like I have no interest in doing that.
me
Absolutely
either. I
no
mean,
interest.
honestly, to be honest with you, and real quick, I got buddies who've been there, and they haven't been that impressed. It's one of them things is I would just go just to say I went because it's the rivalry. But I've heard better things about at Penn State and the whiteout and at Wisconsin and even at Iowa, just far as atmosphere. I haven't heard anybody that's really that impressed with Michigan Stadium. I mean,
Be
so
a whiteout at Penn State is crazy, dude. I'm just telling you.
everybody who's been there has said the same thing. That's
Yeah,
higher on my list than
yeah, for
going to the
sure.
big blouse. It just
Yeah,
is. And
yeah,
so real quick, real like 30 seconds about JJ Smith. I feel him because first of all, he had the only touchdown in that game. When we did target him, he forced what it was like 3 PI penalties. They couldn't
yeah.
check him. It was like 3 pass interference penalties. We didn't throw him the ball a ton. And so Michigan fan, we shut him down and they put his stats. You didn't shut him down. We didn't incorporate him enough. And when we did throw it to him, you had to freaking pull his jersey. So yes, he's thinking to himself, like, I scored, you couldn't stop me, and we weren't smart enough to get the ball to me more. And so I'm about to go off on y'all in y'all's crib. So I can understand his feelings on that. But anyway, I'll move on. All right.
Yes. Time to move on.
Yep. Okay. Let me see. Here we go. Karis, what's up? Thanks for being a Scoop Ultra member. Thanks for the 4.99. It's great to be a Buckeye. Hashtag Natties 25, 26, 27. OH Nevada.
I
Yeah, that's whew. Imagine that. Imagine that. And we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but that is a real, actual, realistic gaze into the future. That is an actual real thought. And so 1 year at a time, but man, where we're sitting at right now, the only one who can really stop us is ourselves, Nevada.
Yeah, no, I agree. Ryan just needs to stay loose, play loose, and you got to get some luck, man. You got to get luck. You got to stay healthy and stuff. But the fact that that's even a possibility is crazy to talk about. But it's definitely a distinct possibility. We're halfway through it. We're done. 25 done. Halfway through 26, and then we'll bring on 27 after next year.
For sure. All right. Super Nerd 9284. Thanks for the 10. I've been checked out of the recruiting cycle. What is going on with the 2026 class? It's not bad, but it's not that great either. What's the deal, Nevada? What's the deal?
It like I said, it's a smaller class than it's not a mega class. It doesn't have 33 kids in it like some of the top classes do. But from a quality standpoint, it's top five or top four in the country. So it's a terrific class. It's the only thing it doesn't have is massive numbers, but a class that fills our needs top to bottom, filled with talented kids, lot of quality. So um, don't believe the recruiting rankings, because all recruiting rankings do is take a kid's star ranking and multiply times the number of kids that you have. So
Yep.
classes that are bigger rank higher than classes that are smaller. And then small class just means you just don't have that many scholarships to give. That's the only thing that this class is lacking, is just massive numbers.
Yep. That's it. Nothing else for me to say to that. All right, Mike Green, what's up, brother? Thanks for the 199. Unk, Nevada, our O line was horrendous. Concerned? Hmm. I'm Mike. Can you explain what's the context of this? I'm confused because this seems like it's coming out of nowhere, unless I missed something.
I think he's saying that we were horrendous against Illinois.
Oh, what you think about that? I don't know about
Uh,
horrendous. I don't know if I agree with
I'm
that,
just
Mike.
I want to make my views on this crystal clear, so people there's no ambiguity. I think this is a terrific offensive line. I think this is a terrific pass blocking offensive line, and I think our run blocking will dramatically improve once we start introducing concepts that include constraint, misdirection, and aren't as predictable as we're playing football in a phone booth right now. And I don't care if you have Jim Parker, Orlando Pace, Corey Stringer, Nick Mangold, and whomever else up front. If the other team knows where you're running and their linebackers are running downhill to the hole, they're going to have trouble blowing off the ball. That's just the way it is in football in 2025. So I think we actually have a very, very good offensive line that has been hindered by a very predictable scheme through the first 6 games. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with that. I mean, I think you're right. Um, Predictability has been a challenge for this O line for sure. And again, it goes back to what we were saying, and Ryan Day kind of confirmed it. We're trying stuff. We've been trying stuff, and so we have the luxury to try stuff. Every team doesn't have that luxury. We do, and so yeah, I think once that changes and we start to and it is I think we'll start to see the O line look better because we're going to be helping them out with scheme and unpredictability. All right, let's go to the next one here. Miss Pinky, what's up? Thanks for the 499. Been in the outhouse for the game. It is not all that. I keep hearing the same thing. It's not all that. So it's not that loud. It's not that intimidating. That's just what I keep hearing. And this is even from non-Ohio State fans. So sorry, Michigan fans. I mean, like I know that's your cathedral, but I'm give me Wisconsin or at Penn State first to go experience before your crib, Nevada.
Yeah, I don't want to be the old guy that repeats himself, but go to Penn State for a whiteout, dude. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, I've been there for it. It's nuts. I mean, it really is for me. It's like kind of the gold standard of what Ohio State needs to be. And I think Ohio State's doing a better job. I want to call out the Ohio State fans. I want to compliment Ross Bjork, the changes they've made with the student sections and
Yeah.
moving the band, and I'm A plus. I'm very, very excited about it. But Penn State is the gold standard, and it's loud, and it's like you'll leave there and you'll be like, wow, that was something else.
Yeah, I've heard, like I said, back in '05 when we lost there with Troy Smith and Tom Mahali, sack, all that. I mean, it was scary watching at home. Like I was terrified watching at home. I'm being dramatic, but the point is it was intimidating. You could tell. And ever since then, we've done quite well in whiteouts considering, but it's still like, man, that atmosphere is insane. And kudos to them. Kudos to Penn State. That's one thing I will not. Hey, y'all do it up for that. No doubt. All right. So we got Pooh Bear. Looks like he's expanding on the comment. Thanks for the 4.99. Colin said, mute the announcers to remove confirmation bias and watch RD. They look faster than everyone else, but it was funny with Clat on the show. Okay, so it wasn't like a direct shot at Clat, but it could if you know how the internet is now, you can clip something and make it sound like it's a shot. So I could put something together that just makes it seem like he's clowning Clat and say, see, even Cowherd thinks he's a clown with his commentary. I'm not gonna do that, but thanks for the clarity though, Pooh Beard. You got anything, Nevada?
I like the original one better. I liked
Me
it when
too. Me
when
too. Me
Colin
too.
was goofing on him. Yeah. So Pooh Beard, you destroyed my dream, man. I was like all excited. I'm like, yeah, way to go, Colin, man. But yeah, well, I appreciate the clarification.
You and your ridiculous clarity, Pooh Beard.
Exactly.
How dare you?
Your accuracy.
All right, Mike Green, thanks for the 4.99. Everyone relax. It's only 40 eligible 5 stars in the class. So politics is absolutely plays a part. Yes, the all 22 we played extremely sloppy. Okay, so yes, good perspective. Everyone can't be a 5 star. The staff has their own evaluation. They don't care about I don't know. Let me think of a goofy name. Uh, Todd Johnson at Rivals, who doesn't know ball, evaluating players over their own evaluation. Okay, they got their own evaluations, and then you said you watched the all 22. Yeah, the O line was not perfect at all. Okay, so definitely not saying that. But to Nevada's point, the overall big picture is they're a solid O line. Could have played. They need to clean up some stuff, but the scheme and the approach of play calling is not helping them either. And I think that's kind of the overall point, right, Nevada?
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, as for the 5 stars, I mean, yeah, just look at the 5 stars that weren't didn't make it all happen. The Samson Okaloas, and we just go down and down and down the list. And yeah, that's why I don't stargaze. I don't really worry about that stuff. As for the thing, like when I can call plays to about with Ohio State right now, probably about 85% accuracy, runner pass, and where we're going to. That's I'm not perfect, not 100, but I'm probably about 85%. That's too high. It's just
Yeah.
too high. And until we get less, if I can do that from my home and my television, with my Chewini in my lap while I'm eating popcorn, then what do you think people can do that do this for a living that are watching this stuff? So we just have to become less predictable. And too many times,
Yeah.
we ran every time on first down in the red zone. And I think 9 out of the 10 or 10 of the 11 were right into the middle of the line. How are you possibly expecting that to work? Like that it's like the middle of the line is going to open like the Red Sea, and B Moses is going to be standing there with your staff, and they're going to hit it, and they're going to go to these sides, and we're going to just run right up the middle. I mean, like it just, yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, all you can do is trust that and Ryan Day said he saw it. They got a half a regular season intel on what they've done, what's worked, what hasn't worked. This is where you kind of lean into the trust of the staff to say they're not going to continue to just do stuff, especially against better teams like that. And of
And
course,
I remember last night I asked you, I said, man, where did this Max Clare is a bad blocker stuff?
oh yeah,
You know what it was? It was
what was
that
that?
play where they did the reverse with JJ, where Max and Sireveld were out there on the outside, and neither
Oh
one of them
yeah,
blocked, and JJ
yeah,
got flipped over. I should
yeah,
have known. That's where it came from. The irony about that play is that was Austin Sky. That was Austin's guy. You block the inside guy takes the first guy
yeah,
always and forever, because if he cuts him and then JJ takes it outside, which is where the play's designed, and then he's got Max Clare as a blocker. If Max Clare comes down and blocks that guy, he takes Austin out of the play. You know what I'm saying? Because that guy's going out in the wash in terms of doing it, because he's coming from the inside. So the inside guy's got to take the first man. But that's where that all started. That's it was on a play. So it's kind of funny that they may be drawing the right conclusion. I haven't really evaluated Max's blocking, but that wasn't even his guy. And there's
yeah,
all this stuff on the internet about it, and no, it wasn't his guy. That was Austin's guy.
yeah. And listen, y'all, in film. That is absolutely being hammered. They cannot let that happen for the very reason that we saw. Jeremiah Smith looked like he was in pain on the sideline when they showed him. We cannot have that, obviously. So you best believe that assignment will not be missed again. So there's that. All right, looks like we got one more super chat that slid in here. Super Nerd, thanks for the 5. Any idea when we will get the new light system for the stadium? Can't wait to go to night games when they get that going. I know you are on this a little more than I am. Do you know when that update is coming?
I mean, it's supposed to be any time. I mean, I know they bid it out. I mean, always assumed that thing was being installed at any time. So, um, soon. Let's just say soon, because every time that they do anything in terms of the updates, they're always talking about the new lighting system. I kind of assumed that it's already in place, but if it isn't, it will be shortly. But yeah, soon.
Yeah, yeah. I think that'll be nice. All the little updates and amenities. I mean, bring it on. Like I said, we had a ball at Texas, man. I really appreciated the atmosphere, and I thought it was intimidating. It was loud. Everything they did was pretty dope, and I like the victory bell, everything. So keep expanding and make this atmosphere what it should be, which is the most intimidating in the country, for sure. So listen, another great show. We appreciate y'all. Oh, hold on. Dev slides in with a late super chat. Yo, about to be at that Wisconsin game with the B Moses watching the Buckeyes. Doesn't get better than that. 2024, 2025 Natty Lock. OH Nevada?
Oh,
Indeed. Yeah, brother. And again, listen, we haven't met in person yet. I've met Nevada Buck. I've got to meet Funky Buck. Had the pleasure of doing so. I have not met Dev, and I still got to meet Mello. So this is another thing. Is like finally get to meet the homie.
will you bring a second trash bag for Devin too, just in case that he doesn't bring his own trash bag?
Let me see if Walmart got any red trash bags and just cut holes in where the
Just cut
arms
off.
go.
You can look like Charlie Brown. Like the Charlie Brown used to always be a ghost.
Oh, that is stupid. Now you got me thinking. Let me go to Amazon and see if they got red trash bags. I bet you they got red trash bags that have a strawberry scent. Some rich.
You guys sitting there with the whole eyes fucked out.
They probably got that in Whole Foods or something stupid like that.
That'd be so good. Like, who's that? That's B Moses and Deb sitting there with the red flags over their head.
Oh man, and Stilly Matt said, he said, "Bring your do rag, B." Of course, come on, dog. Listen, I sleep in the do rag. That's how you get the waves popping and get it nice and smooth. One day I'm gonna wear my do rag on here, and I'm gonna shock the world. We're gonna get hate mail and emails. I don't like how your co-host wears do rag on air, but we'll see. We're provocative here. No, this is a family show. Anyway, but all right, Cherry, say the trash bags. All right, stop it. We hold on real quick, Mike Green. It's Buckeye Sports Talk with B Moses on IG. He was asking for my IG. Buckeye Sports Talk with B Moses. All right, listen, love y'all. Day closer to game day. Buckeyes, listen, don't take it for granted. Do not take it for granted. These is going to go quick, so let's lean into it. We're going to have fun. Again, we'll be in Wisconsin, reporting live, clowning, having fun. And listen, until then, we see y'all next time. Go Bucks. Peace.